Welcome back. Vland charger headlights, the lookalikes for the modern chargers with the LED wraparound bar or the daytime running lights for the last generation charger, 2011 to 2014, the ones before the current charger. And they are great, but I've had, 100 people ask me, well, how do you install them? Honestly, it's just like any other headlight aftermarket. 2 top bolts, and you got 2 underneath. One right there, and one you can barely see on the other side. Everyone's asking, well, it's plug and play, but they can't figure it out. Honestly, you guys are lucky. I had a blown bulb, so I'm going to shoot this video really quickly. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail for the reason that it is simple. The new housing uses a different headlight bulb, not the 9003, but an H7. So the actual clip is different on the back of the bulb. It's not a plug like the old original style, but it's very simple. I'll jump over to the old housing. It's the standard stock looking housing. You had to transfer two plugs in order to plug and play in the new one. The old parking light and the turn signal plug. You literally turn and pop out. Turn and pop out. And that's it. Okay, you transfer those over to the new housing. There's a parking light one, or whatever it might be. I'm not going to be a perfect scientist to this. And the other plug you popped out of the old housing. You literally, inside the new housing, there's wires inside. You take it out and plug it into the old housing. Instead of a bulb that you plug in, it's literally a wire you plug in, okay? Same with this over here. You just turn and pop in, just like the stock housing. And you take your stock harness, okay, and you match them up. One to the gray. This is your old headlight plug adapter. The new housing has one already in it. You just plugs right up to the old harness. Now again, the new housing has a different style bulb, and inside the housing is the actual plug for it. Okay, you pull that out. Sometimes it's buried in there. You got to get in there with your little fingers and pull them out. Okay, you get your new bulb, and unfortunately, it has this modern retaining clip hassle pain in the butt. Okay, if it is too tight, this clip, to close it around it, then there's the good old China-made, not properly cast in the mold, where the actual little recessed groove that the bulb sits on is not actually deep enough or wide enough. So you have to shave it with either some sandpaper or a little file to get it to sit down just a millimeter more and able to sit properly and easily close this retaining ring. I had the struggle. I was putting all my might into just closing this green plastic ring because it's not actually down all the way. But I fixed that when I shaved it out by hand real softly and gently and slowly, and triple checking and making sure it's deep enough to sit in properly. A little bit at a time is all you need. To my point again about the cheap China-made casting and the mold process, these openings were actually a little too small. Go figure. So again, it took a little file, or you can use sandpaper if you ain't got that kind of tools. You just gently shave and shave and shave and keep checking, and finally it pops in just enough. You might have to put a little force behind it and push it in and turn, and you're done. Okay? Really not that difficult. You just transfer 2 plugs into the new housing and plug and play. Okay? It's not hard. It's not complicated. And if you don't know already, to change headlights in the Charger, you do have to pop off the front bumper cover. Yay! Ingenious design. Sarcasm. But again, it's just look it up on YouTube. There's 1,000 videos how to pop off your bumper cover. It's seriously not complicated either. You got 4 push pop pins that pop out, a couple on the side, okay? And underneath this plastic wheel well cover, where this little bump is, raised area, there's a 8 or 10 millimeter screw. You pop that off, and along the bottom of the actual cover, I removed mine, I don't use them anymore, but there's usually 4 more push pins or screws. Again, it doesn't really support that much, and I've not used them for over a year now on the bottom underneath the air splitter, so it's really up to you if you want to continue to use those. I've had no problems without them, okay? And just pull from the side and pull out, okay? Because if you see these little recessed grooves, that's where the actual cover on the back side sticks in, and you put your screw through it, okay? So you just pull out to the opposing side and push forward towards the front of the car, and the whole thing just pops off. You want to be careful because it does pop off suddenly, and if you're not expecting it, your whole cover will fall to the ground, okay, and scratch up your paint. So you do want to be mindful of that. And again, enjoy your new headlights. They look awesome, the way Dodge should have made them originally. Okay. Finished product is in my other video. You can see it running. And again, just use your parking lights turned on while driving if you want the daytime running light LED bar to be on by itself. I know it's weird, it should pop on by itself like the new Chargers, but hey, what do you want, you know, for a couple $100, depending on the seller, okay? You look awesome. The quality is great. Other than the housing not being molded properly as far as the openings being big enough, okay? Have fun, don't get frustrated. It's really simple. You do have to put a little force behind it sometimes when you're putting stuff in and plugging it in. So, take your time and enjoy the end product. See you next time.